Hello, everyone. Welcome to Last of Us multiplayer video. It's another conversation we got going. I'm sorry that it's not on full screen because I try to. You see, I don't have add audio anywhere. I have add music, add tracks, screenshot, add clip, add overlay, filter, and layout. There's nothing to say add audio anywhere, unfortunately. Unless you see it, and I don't. I mean, I've gone through every one of them, you know, try to find if I can see it, and I can't find it anywhere. So we're just gonna have to do it this way. But you know, whatever, doesn't matter. Be fine. There we go. Let's say like it. There we go. Anyways, this is I think there's a little bit of commentary going on between the game. That's fine though. I want to talk to you guys for I want to talk to you guys about a few things. Alright, The Last of Us Part 2 might be coming out in 2020 because the way that everything is setting up, I mean, they and IGN just announced that PlayStation is skipping E3 of 2019. Alright, so that is not really good news for any of us. I mean, there's literally no news coming out for anything. There's no events coming out. The only one I think is the Game Awards. It's pretty much all I can think of. But E3 hasn't. I mean, this year, Paris Game Week really didn't happen that much. You know, it didn't really have anything special about The Last of Us, and it wasn't even sponsoring The Last of Us at all. But PlayStation Experience didn't happen. They canceled that, and now they're skipping E3 for 2019. It sounds like they're just setting up game for 2020. They're not setting, and it feels like they are setting it up for the PS5. That is scary, yes. I really hope Naughty Dog is still going for the PlayStation 4. They're not trying to do anything too much, you know, too high risk, if you know what I mean. Because why would it's just kind of weird how everything is going. I feel like The Last of Us should have been out a long time ago. It should have came out like this year or next year. The reason that I think that is because I forgot what I was talking about. I am terrible with this entire thing. I focus too much on the game and on trying to talking. I just get confused and I forget what I was talking about. But I'm gonna try to think. I'm just gonna try to say something else. But I think that The Last of Us is not coming out this year. Just how it is, man. Days Gone has been put up to April. All right, and that's not good. And right after April is May. So you're telling me that The Last of Us comes out right after Days Gone? You know? I didn't think that was the truth, you know? I didn't think that could even be. I don't know if that's it. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's coming out in May in 2019, right after Days Gone. But the thing is, they would give a release date for The Last of Us in like a big giant event. They wouldn't just throw it out there, you know? It's just, I don't know what it means. I don't know how this is gonna work, because I'm sitting here and I'm trying to figure like, oh, okay, The Last of Us Part 2 is probably coming out this year, and if it ain't coming out this year, it's definitely coming out next year. Alright, you know, in my opinion, I believe that it should have came out 2018. I really do believe that, and that's what I was talking about. I believe it should have came out this year, because this year it was really, you know, it was really good. The reason that I believe that they could have came out this year is so it can put a lodge between this impatience between the Last of Us community. I mean, like, half of us are waiting for this game, and we're sitting here and we haven't had any trailers. The last time that we had a trailer was in June, you know, and that was just of Ellie and some new characters, you know. It was Ellie, Dina, and some new characters. It didn't even have Joel in it, you know. I'm sitting here and I'm like, how long are we gonna be sitting here waiting for this game to come out, or not even just a game, just some trailers, you know? When are they gonna start upping up their trailers like they did for the first game, you know? But then there's the talk about like, oh, this game and the Last of Us 1 and the Last of Us Part 2 are two separate things. So maybe they're just, you know, maybe they're doing it differently than the first game. They're not just changing how the story is and how it looks. They're literally making it different for the release of the trailers, release of the gameplay, the release of the game, and how it gets on shelves. You know, release. You know, because you know there's everyone's speculations that it's going to be coming out 2019 on May because it's on Mother's Day. Because you know Last of Us Part 1 came out on Father's Day, and the DLC Left Behind for The Last of Us Part 1 came out in Valentine's Day. So everyone is thinking it's coming out next year. And if it isn't this year, guys, I'm going to be really disappointed. I am not going to be happy, but I guess that's Naughty Dog doesn't really care, you know. The thing about Naughty Dog is they don't care they only care really about the game. They care about us, yeah, of course they do, but I don't think they would, you know, I don't think they would listen to us because, you know, our wanting for this game. But I think they see it more as like, oh, they want this game, that means we gotta make it really, really good. And there was a developer for like one of the Naughty Dog's team members. He went on like social media and he starts hyping the game up. I mean, like he just starts saying this is he's been there with them for a while, and he you know, he says, I am, you know, like the game is so exciting, you know, I can't wait for it to be out on shelves. You know, it's so freaking cool, you know, using these big words and just trying to hype everyone up. That's why it's kind of an alert to me, you know, because, you know, usually you don't go out there spouting about how good a game is as much as anticipated as The Last of Us Part 2 is, and you just do that for just do it for kicks, you know. To me, that's just weird. That puts out an alert to me because it's like, no one's been doing that. The game has been working on for 4 years now, all right, and just in almost 5 years, and all of a sudden this guy just comes out of the blue and just starts talking how good it looks and how good it's gonna be. You know, if he, you know, it's like they didn't know how the game was gonna look. You know, so you know what I mean? It's like Naughty Dog thinks before it happens. They have a certain picture of how it's going to turn out to be, and they have it. But you know, just some guy from the Naughty Dog team just goes out on social media and starts talking about it. You know, because right when anything that has anything to do with The Last of Us Part 2 or The Last of Us in general, I get it on Google, and it literally alerts me. It means this big giant alarm I got. All right. Yeah, so, you know, and there's like an app for it if you have an Android or an iPhone. So yeah, I'm sitting here and I'm just trying to figure this all out because I honestly I can't wait for this game to come out. I can't wait for The Last of Us Part 2 to come out. But you know, the way that it's going to happen is I'm definitely going to be playing The Last of Us Part 2, the story. When I get it, I'm going to be playing it for hours. I'm going to be playing it hardcore. Like I've never played a game hardcore before. Alright, hopefully. Because sometimes I say it and I really don't do it. But we'll see how it goes. Like I said, guys, I'm going to be playing The Last of Us Part 2. I'm going to be playing it. And you guys, I really hope you guys are going to enjoy the game. Because it's really good. It's going to be good. They wouldn't spend all their time doing this for a game that wasn't going to work out. Or a game that wasn't going to be good. You know. Some people aren't going to like it. They've even said this because the game is different. The game is it's the polar opposite of the first game. Not because of the characters or anything, just because of the setting and how it looks. You know, you can look through the gameplay and there's literally, you know, you don't have this physical embodiment of like all power and strength. You know, it's really all about, it's all about speed and dodging. And, you know, I don't like dodging games. I don't like where you have to literally either like your basic instinct of survival is dodging. And like I'm talking about Bloodborne and stuff like that. Those type of games, no. I'm not I'm not that type of player, man. I'm not that type of player that can go on and play Bloodborne and just beat it in a few days. No. Bloodborne is to me one of the most difficult. Oh yeah, look at this right here. I get a good shiv kill. Look at that. Final kill. Anyways, I'm not done talking, so I'm gonna redo this back. Anyways, just that, yeah, so right now, it's just, right now, it's really hard to figure out when it's coming out, because now they're skipping E3 for 2019. They're skipping it for next year, and that isn't a good look, because it literally changes the entire atmosphere of the games that are supposed to be coming out this time, because it feels like nothing is coming out for The Last of Us. Nothing is coming out for anything there. It's just like 2019 is gonna be a boring year. You know, it's probably gonna be more boring than 2017 was. You know, if they don't release the game or they don't release some type of information. And I'm pretty sure they will. But if they don't release any information on The Last of Us, it's not gonna be fun. It's just gonna be it's gonna be a boring year once again. You know, 2018 was probably the most exciting year for The Last of Us Part 2 since we got some gameplay and stuff like that. It was good, you know. But now we don't have anything. We don't have any events coming up. I don't know what PlayStation is setting up to do. You know, I don't know what Naughty Dog is doing right now. I don't even know. I don't even know if the game is completed yet. I mean, because in 2017, in 2017 of December, Neil Druckmann said that we're like 60% done, and now we're all the way down in November. All right, and so what? And the thinking is now like, oh, of course they have to be done with it by now. But what if they're not? What if they are making some new stuff around it? Maybe they're working on the multiplayer, or the survival, or maybe they're working on some DLC. Because when there was a interview at E3 this year, and it was talking to one of, I think it was, I don't know if it was a producer or it was one of the, it had to definitely be one of the game makers. She said that that Ellie is the only playable character for now. Means that there's most likely going to be another playable character somewhere, and I'm thinking it's either going to be Joel or it's going to be Ellie's mom. I'm thinking it's going to be Ellie's mom, just because this Last of Us Part 2 story is basically surrounding Ellie, basically. So why not do something about her mom? The thing is that the DLCs for The Last of Us has always really been about Ellie. It's never really been about Joel, even though Joel is like the main protagonist in the first game. You know, he's the guy that you play the most in the first game. Now we're switching perspectives of to the father to the daughter now, and now we're gonna be living through Ellie's world. Meaning, and like you said, the world that the way that Neil Druckmann put it is that her life is now filled with hatred and violence. And when you do that, it goes a long way, man. Hatred and violence those two mixed are very bad for you. First of all, I know I'm a Christian, so my first instinct is to not have any type of hatred or bitterness in my heart, because it's poison. It's the worst type of poison you can ever have, and it's unforgiveness and bitterness. All right, so saying that, I know what it's like to have unforgiveness in your heart. I've had it before, and trust me, it sucks. Like, it's terrible, man. I have never ever felt so much poison. Like, it really makes you feel like a slave. It makes you feel like you can't let go, and you're basically imprisoned in your mind, and you can't let go. And that's the side effect of unforgiveness, is that it's like you're held captive. You're being held as a hostage. It's really bad, man. It's like the unforgiveness literally holds you hostage, and I think that's what it's doing with Ellie. Ellie is literally being, I wouldn't say possessed, but really, really, really influenced to killing pretty much this entire cult. And I don't know. I really don't know who kills who. Nothing's confirmed, but I can only speculate about I can only speculate, man. I can only speculate about how certain characters died. I think Dina dies. Like I said, guys, I think Dina dies. I think she dies, I do think she dies, because just how everything's set up. Like I said before, on my community, on my post in my community, I told you guys that set up characters are very, very, very common in video games and movies and TV shows. They're set up characters, and I can name a TV show right now that does that, and that's The Walking Dead. They'll set up a character to die. All right. They'll set up some type of character to die, all right? And like in season 7, I'm not going to spoil anything. When season 7 rolled around, there was a certain character that was having too much face time, too much just time on the screen, and eventually he dies. And so it's a setup character. It's a setup. And Dina looks like a setup character, and nonetheless, how much Ellie loves her. Obviously Ellie has some sort of interest in her, and she's just there. And it brings me back to the time where Joel was with Sarah. The first character we see is Sarah. Okay, I'm not even kidding. That's the first character we see on the real game, when the game is actually out on shelves. It is the first character you see. So is the first character we're gonna see gonna be Dina, or it's gonna be Ellie? Is it gonna be Joel? Is it gonna be someone else? If it's gonna be a flashback about Ellie's mom, what's it gonna be? So what I'm talking about here is that we have to understand that this is all speculation. I have nothing to confirm here. I'm not going to say that the game's coming out next year. I'm not going to say it's coming out next year. I'm sorry. Let me re-emphasize. I don't know if the game is gonna be coming out next year or it's gonna be coming out in 2020. Okay, because I don't know. This is the problem. We don't have any facts. We have small facts, minor facts that doesn't really justify anything about for the game. Okay, so we are sitting here and we're trying to figure out these things, but Naughty Dog won't give us any big piece of facts. They give us like minor facts about certain characters, but they don't lean it towards anywhere to the major facts, to the things that are literally, if they, because I feel like they have major facts, yes, and if they release them, because we're like, because we as human beings, we have passion, all right? We have an intense passion for video games and things that we like. And so if they even release a little bit that can look minor, they can turn out major, and they can literally spoil the entire game. That's how it is for them, all right? And that's how, I think that's how it's really going to be, because it's just, you know, we're like Batman level detectives. I mean, we really know how to figure things out, and we really know how to put things in perspective, and it's really cool to see it, you know. So, you know, it just, you know, yeah. So this is just what I'm thinking, man. It's what I'm thinking. You know, all this stuff is happening. You know, it's just for The Last of Us Part 2 that it's really hard to put together things for it, because we're all trying to figure out, you know. We're trying to figure out how can we, how can we figure out the date? How can we figure out the main character? How can we figure out who dies first? You know, it's like they are not putting anything. The only thing that we really know about this game, that it does something with Ellie's past, and it's all about violence and hatred and just some of the most darkest elements in video games. They're putting some of the darkest elements in survival games, and this and The Last of Us, it can be extremely heavy and dark if it can be. All right. And second of all, the another fact that we got here is that they said that The Last of Us is trying to make you very uncomfortable in killing other survivors, other cultists, other survivors, other, you know, bandits, cannibals, or hunters, or whatever you want to call, or like ex-fireflies, or whatever you want to call. They want to make you seem like it's so uncomfortable, like you're actually killing them. They're trying to grab this type of action of killing someone and put it in real life, make you feel uncomfortable for doing it. Like in the gameplay trailer, Ellie literally grabs like a hammer and sticks the hammer in a cultist's head. It is crazy, and it's awesome at the same time, you know. But there's a lot of things, and I wish I had you know, the recording system where I can record a video on YouTube. I wish I could do that. I wish I would record the video of The Last of Us gameplay, but I'm pretty sure I'll get like copyrighted or something like that. I'm pretty sure I would, you know, or something like that. You know, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I could, but it's just like right now, everything is not making much sense right now, and hopefully, but in time we will figure things out. Everything will be fine. But just like this, I'll say this again. We're living right now in a time where The Last of Us Part 2 is very unlikely it's going to be coming out this year, or next year, sorry. It's definitely not coming out this year, but next year it seems very unlikely, just because of just how everything's going. No E3, no E3, nothing like that. No PSX this year. It's leading up to 2020, man. It really is. And it's just, I mean, like I said, this is nothing is confirmed. It's just through my theories and my thoughts and just my speculation right now. Because that's all we can do right now. This is the thing. We can only speculate. We don't have any hardcore major facts, like I said before. So if you want, it's not going to be easy when it comes down to figuring this all out, So, yeah, so that's what I think, man. I think The Last of Us Part 2, if I really had to think this out, I would think that it's going to be either coming out sometime, it's either coming out next year or in May, sometime between May and June, or it's coming out in 2020, May through June, sometime like those are my two dates that I think it is going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen any other way. I think it's just how it's going to go. Just on everything's going right now. I mean, dude, it's just that, and to not even think that Days Gone, because Days Gone said that, like the producer for it, or the writer, or who, I think it was somebody, but it was definitely someone from the Days Gone team said, The Last of Us is coming out after Days Gone, after our game, you know, why would someone say that? Why would someone say that? That is like kind of a setup thing to do too as well. But anyways, that's why everyone thinks it's coming out, you know, that's why everyone thinks that it's coming out sometime in 2020 now, is because Days Gone gets uprooted to, you know, May. But this, I'll tell you the other reason. I've said this already in this video. I'll tell you this again. I do believe The Last of Us Part 2 is going to be coming out next year. It's just because there's no big event happening. E3 is one of the biggest events there, and at the same time, we don't even have PlayStation Experience this year. All right, so it's like it's leading up to 2020. It's leading right up to it, because unless the Game Awards said something about it, or Paris Games Week for 2019 says something, then yeah, I mean, I think it's being set up for 2020, and those are my thoughts on that. It's basically gonna be a video basically about, you know, The Last of Us Part 2 video, but anyways, we need to really think about this really as just a community, and just as a channel, just as a group of people who love this game, you know. Just as a little group or a little community that love this game, we need to really think on just how we have to look at this like in reality. We gotta be a realist about this, man. We gotta be realistic, and we gotta be looking at this into a point where we gotta be like, oh, this is how everything turns out to be. We can't sit here and think that everything is just gonna, you know, it's gonna happen. You know, we gotta try to find some type of fact, a major fact, and when everyone agrees on. Because the thing about facts is that they'll always outweigh opinions. They'll always outweigh, you know, speculation and theories. They'll always outweigh it. They'll always beat it. They'll always overcome it. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for truth. We're looking for facts to overcome, you know, theories and speculations. And it's just, right now, it's really hard to do it right now. But, you know, yeah, I think... What do you guys think, man? What do you guys think? What do you guys think it's coming out 2020? Or you think it's coming out this year? I honestly believe that if it comes out this next year, then I'll be like, okay, that I didn't expect that, but I'm expecting it's coming out 2020. I don't think it's coming out next year, just because of how it is, and you know, usually Naughty Dog would like release it, you know, Naughty Dog would release it on a big event. They'll tell you to release it on a big event, but I guess now it's just not. But whatever, man. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this little video I put together. Yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed the video I put together, and I paused it. I paused it on purpose. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Tell me what you guys think about it, and yeah, I hope you guys, you know, enjoyed the video. If you like it. If you want to see more Last of Us Part 2 and just multiplayer, Last of Us in general, and if you want to just see this type of stuff, then just subscribe. And if you want to say anything in the comments, please do it, and I'll read them and respond. And you know, you can ask questions, and I'll answer them the best I can. And with that being said, guys, I'll see you guys later. And also, I am going to be releasing some of the part 2 of my most favorite encounters. I will release it, and I hope you guys enjoyed my favorite brutal scenes from The Last of Us that I released yesterday or last night. So go ahead and, you know, watch that and see how it is, and just know that I'm coming up with this stuff. You know, just be patient with me. All right, guys. You guys take it easy.
Iced. Okay, got it. Down to their last group. Target down.
Careful now, it's a firefly!
Area secure. All right, pack up. We're going.